I was gonna wait. Starting in February, I was gonna begin slowly talking about Digimon Adventure 2020, going through the plot line, talking about what I think of each arc, and then this week's episode dropped, and I've gotta talk about it because I'm the 02 boy. I'm the one who 02s.
Hey, come on! Call ES.
Warning, the following video contains total spoilers for the current series of the Digimon anime, Digimon Adventure : or Digimon Adventure 2020. Viewer discretion is advised. Look away now if you don't want spoilers. Hey, what's up everybody? So yeah, I'm talking about Digimon Adventure 2020 this week, specifically one episode in particular, and after some consultation with some people on Twitter, I think what I'm going to do is talk about each arc in videos rather than weekly episodes, because enough people are already doing weekly recaps. I'm not going to add anything interesting by doing that, but I had to talk about this episode. This has been coming for a while now, so again, spoilers from here on in. We've seen in the Digivice toy, which came out, that there was Pegasusmon, and I thought, oh, that's a little fun thing they've thrown in there. And then I sat on it and thought about it, and it just kept building until in my 2021 hopes video, I pretty much said I was sure Pegasusmon was coming in the anime. And I was right. I was wrong about how I thought it was going to happen, but so I thought we might get Pegasusmon right at the very end. But actually what happened was we got Pegasusmon in episode 32 of 66. And it wasn't an Armor Digivolution, there was no Digimental, there was no Armor Digi-Egg. To quickly recap this episode, Patamon is struggling. He has been exhausted from previous battles, he is not in a good place and he's close to giving up. There's also a whole B-plot with Commandomon and Fangmon and Cerberusmon. Doesn't matter, all you need to know is that Cerberusmon is a big threat. Lopmon comes to Patamon in like a vision or through the psychic holy network and is like, yo dude, you're really important. And we see a flash of the kind of 6 original holy people, Valdemon, Cherubimon, all those kind of guys, and Lopmon basically tells Patamon not to give up hope, which is nice. And I thought, okay, Patamon's remembering Angemon, Magnangemon, Seraphimon, so we're probably gonna get a return to Angemon this week. But we didn't. We got Pegasusmon, and I'm just... People who are saying this is boring or this season is retreading things in Digimon Adventure, the original one, what? Come on now, come on. This, for all intents and purposes, is a brand new show, just with the same characters as last time. I really did not think we'd see multiple evolution branches for one Digimon this season. I thought we'd just get one through line, maybe with the form changes that Metal Greymon and Garurumon have. But now Patamon can become both Angemon and Pegasusmon. We know from the Digivice toy that he does go all the way through to Seraphimon. Presumably he's going to turn into Angemon again at some point, but for the time being Pegasusmon is like his champion form. And so therefore what's even bigger for me, what's an even more confusing thing or an even bigger variation, is that he became Pegasusmon without a Digimental, which may mean that there is no hope of 02. I'm sorry buddy, I really wish I had hope for you. But tinfoil hat time, maybe that does mean there's hope of Digimental, the hope of 02. Maybe Patamon wants to get back to Pegasusmon, and the only way you can do it is by retrieving the... I don't know, man. But something even more interesting in this episode, something that my tinfoil hat is firmly on for this, and this might be a translation quirk. When Patamon is talking about TK and how he waited for TK all that time, and he's talked about this before, I always assumed it was in reference to like, he knew TK was coming for the first time, he was going to have his partner. So the subtitles say that's why we were able to meet, even after being reborn, we were able to meet again. Now I am assuming this just means either when Patamon was reborn or when all the Digimon were reborn, but my head is starting to wonder, were the Tamers reborn too? I've said before, please don't pull a Tetsuya Nomura, and I'm starting to wonder whether Digimon Adventure might be pulling a Tetsuya Nomura, and that Digimon Adventure : is actually a canonical sequel to the first adventure, and like the universe got rebooted. I don't think that's what's happening. I hope that's not what's happening, but it could be. I don't know. Rather than them trying to make it like an Advent Children remake thing to Digimon Adventure, I'd rather they just make Into the Taichi-verse, Taichi generations forever, you know? But back to the point in hand, what does this mean going forward? Is Patamon gonna keep Digivolving to Pegasusmon for the time being while he kind of regains who he once was, or is it just Pegasusmon going forward? We also know, spoilers for the toy line again, that Gatomon goes through to Ophanimon this time, but Magnadramon is also in the Digivice, so are we gonna get 2 final forms for Gatomon, much like Patamon has 2 champions? And again, if we're seeing what is traditionally an armored Digimon digivolve from a rookie with no outside stimulus, then then what does that mean for 02? Are we getting it? I'm starting to now think we're not. Which is a big shame. I'd love to see Davis and everyone. I think a time skip season would be really good for Reboot, but maybe not. And that's not to say that Armor Digimon can't digivolve normally. Digimon that are designated as Armor Digimon in 02 have been used as basically non-armors in other parts of the franchise, like Dromogimon digivolving to Digmon in Digimon Masters, and probably a bunch of other stuff. But I'm just so curious where this is going. Next week's episode is about Hikari Ikari going to darkness, but she's the Hikari of Dawn, the light of dawn. So maybe that's our Gatomon introduction episode, even though we've been seeing Gatomon in the ED for ages. But this is such a random thing to happen in the middle of the season, and as far as I'm aware, the Digivice doesn't show off Nefertimon, so it's just Pegasusmon. Obviously Gatomon is the other holy Digimon, so maybe upon meeting Gatomon, Patamon will kind of have himself restored, but it just begs so many questions. Is it possible for the others to have alternate champions? Again, we know that Metal Greymon and Wergarurumon have forms, and those forms are considered part of the Digivolution, because when Metal Greymon digivolves to War Greymon, he gets his big railgun and stuff before he transforms. And so again, where does this lie? Is this just fan service? Is this something cool we can do in the interim? Is it giving Patamon a form that TK can fly on, I guess? Maybe that's going to be important to a plot when they escape the castle, not that he couldn't just sit on the back of Angemon, but whatever. Is this kind of piecemeal, like, there you go, 02 fans, there's a thing you like, a little bit of it, not understanding that 02 fans would like a little bit more than crumbs? It was 02's 20th anniversary last year, so it would have made sense maybe if this episode had premiered in December, which might have made sense as like a, there's your little nod, but even then, December's not the anniversary. I don't know how to feel now. I was kind of not confident, but looking forward to seeing at least Davis, Ken, Yoli, and Cody, and now I'm starting to think we won't. That instead of that, they're like, well, you got Pegasusmon, that's good enough, right? Again, I'm going to talk more about the whole show in February and March. I'm going to go over each chapter, so we'll kind of do, basically each time an ending song happens, that's when we'll cut it up. So I'll do like the first arc, I guess, and the second arc, third arc, and wherever that leads us from there. But right now really feels like we're just on this precipice of like, what's happening now? Like, we're obviously going to kind of rescue Hikari next episode, or maybe the episode after that. 23 minutes is not long. But then what's the thing going forward? We don't really have like a full-on villain right now. Like, we know that we've got Millennium Mon in the crystal, so that's obviously where we're going. But like, we've got the threats in Tokyo. I honestly don't know where this show's heading. And that's ultimately what I'm taking away from this, is while I don't understand what's happening and my little 02 heart is both singing at seeing Pegasusmon and crying at thinking we won't get 02 reboot, I cannot predict this show anymore. None of you can. If you think you know where this show's going beyond the episode titles that we know of, you're wrong. There is potentially another whole half a season of this if that Toei Europe website is correct, and I can't even begin to fathom, because this show is not slowing down. Again, Digimon have always had the potential to digivolve into, you know, one champion, go back, go to a different one. That's like the whole thing of the V-Pets, right? But we haven't really seen it in the anime before. The closest we've seen is like Armor Digi-Eggs, especially in Adventure. They stuck to one path and that was it. He didn't have like an Agumon digivolving to Tyrannomon or anything like that. Like, he went to Greymon, Skull Greymon was about as much as you got. I presume Pegasusmon isn't going to digivolve further, but the fuck do I know? Is Pegasusmon going to digivolve into Magna Angemon? I don't know anymore. Am I getting angry? But mainly what I want to say before I end this video, which has been far too much rambling as it is I really am excited to find out fully what happened in this ancient war, this war that they all died in, presumably, because they were reborn. You know, it's not just Patamon, it's Patamon, all of them, Gomamon, Agumon, all of them. You see all their megas. And then you've also got like the holy Digimon that are guiding them, Valdemon, Cherubimon, Racielmon, Clavis, Angemon. I can't remember the other ones, but they're there. You know who they are. You're going to correct me in the comments anyway. That's what you love to do. Maybe there will be a reason for Pegasusmon outside of just, you know, I love TK, me and TK are a good team, and I'm fine with that. I want to stress that I don't really care how Digivolution happens in this season. A lot of people are very critical of it, the whole Omnimon thing. I don't care. This is a reboot. It's doing its own thing. Yes, okay, you're always naturally going to compare it a little bit to the original, but the whole point is to do different stuff, and I'm glad they're doing different stuff. I'm glad Omnimon debuted so early. Like, it's different. I'm glad Patamon can just digivolve to Pegasusmon, but I'm never going to give up hope that we're going to see a D3. My personal way I would handle it if we were going to go into 02 is that the power was there. If you think about it, in the WonderSwan games, like I talked about in the video the other day, Ken and Rio have to reassemble the Digimentals, so maybe Pegasusmon naturally could digivolve from Patamon, and it is still technically Armor Digivolution, but it was as the result of this like immense amount of power. But maybe like the Adventure 2020 Digivices get destroyed and the tags and the crests and all the things that are contained inside them are just scattered to the four winds, and then maybe they recompile into crests, or they could recompile into Digi-Eggs. That would be the way that I could see them having Pegasusmon in this season and still having Adventure 02 reboot, because right now it wouldn't make much sense if Patamon can just always become Pegasusmon, and then what is kind of the unique selling point of doing a 02 reboot if everyone can just become Flamedramon and Raydramon whenever they want? So there has to be some kind of power scaled down, right, if they're going to do 02 reboot, which I hope they are, but they're probably not at this point. Anyway, that's my jumbled thoughts on this episode of Digimon Adventure 2020, because a lot of you were asking for it in the comments. I will not be doing this every week, like I say. I will be doing a proper written summation of my thoughts and feelings on the 3 arcs of Digimon Adventure 2020 we've got so far. But let me know down below, what the hell did you think of this Pegasusmon episode? What are your thoughts going forward? Do you want an Adventure 02 reboot? Are you glad we're not getting it because of Pegasusmon? Let me know down below. Everything about that down below. As always, liking and subscribing helps a whole bunch, like literally every time. The only reason I say this, like and subscribe every time I talk about it, because I hate it when YouTubers do it as much as you, is it legitimately helps. Every time I do a video where I say, hey, can you please subscribe? Subscriptions jump like a motherfucker. We're almost at 9,500 subs. We could get to 10k subs this month if I keep asking. So sorry to the people that are already subbed, but I appreciate you. Like I say, like and comments. Thank you to the channel members. And yeah, I'll see you next time when we go digital.